Hi. Wait. Yeah, that's better. Now you can see me. Probably. I don't know. I haven't checked the preview. Anyways, um, hi, welcome. Today we're gonna be taking up those notes. Yay! There's a reason for that. there's a reason for that because I've noticed. Okay, a bit of backstory. I finished my second semester. I went on actually a lot of trips. I've been busy with work as well at the summer job, and I haven't been working here directly. Actually, I've been very absent from my room, and now when I'm coming back and studying for a retake exam, well, I noticed that most of these notes are not relevant anymore, and they weren't in the second semester either. So, as you know, things go on, time goes on, things change, and that needs to change as well if it's supposed to serve its purpose, which is to remind me and help me get through rough patches and have some positivity in those notes. Yeah, as a bit of support. Yeah, so what you see right here on this wall and behind that, hold up. Okay, so what you see there, and actually here as well, are quotes, all of these quotes from Atomic Habits. And you see, I read that book like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, and I learned what I learned. I was supposed to learn from it. So these now do not serve me any purpose anymore. I might store them in my desk, but I don't know. I'll think about it. They are for sure gone. And I'm gonna take these off right now. The first one to be taken off, I'll show you like this. Yeah. The amount of time you have been performing a habit is not as important as the number of times you have performed it. True. True. Second one. I'm not gonna add anything from myself. I guess they're self-explanatory. If you want to master a habit, the key is to start with repetition, not perfection. It's basically the same one as before, but like different wording. So yeah, I like to duplicate those notes because I like how different wording. Yeah, like how James tried to word the same ideas differently, and I think some of them just work better. Create a motivation ritual by doing something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. To be honest, that's not something I introduced in my studying at all. Well, maybe partially, but it wasn't intentional. Basically, before I study, I usually make myself a cup of tea. So I guess this is my thing I enjoy immediately before, because I like brewing, but I wouldn't consider it as like, yeah, this, I don't know, maybe. But it works. Reframing your habits to highlight their benefits rather than their drawbacks is a fast and lightweight way to reprogram your mind and make a habit seem more attractive. I wouldn't agree with it so much. It's not easy and lightweight. It's definitely not, because to reprogram your mind it takes a lot of time. And reminding yourself of those drawbacks is not often easy. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings, and we can use this insight to our advantage rather than to our detriment. Surround yourself with people who have the habits you want to have yourself. You'll rise together. And that, my people, my guys, my lovely sunshine people watching this channel, is absolutely true. I remember since I have joined James Cold's Discord server, I've noticed I've noticed change in myself because suddenly, I was in those study rooms. I don't know if you know how this James Cold's Discord server looks like, but basically it's a study server. and a bit of social one as well. People just come to voice channel and study together, sometimes with their cameras on. So yeah, basically that. I was in those voice channels and seeing all those people working together in one room. For me, work those smaller rooms, I felt more connected to those people. But, yeah. And I noticed that I wanted to be like them in a way. It wasn't like a very conscious decision. I think it was more of unconscious because we as people want to fit in the group. Next one! Temptation building is one way to make your habits more attractive. The strategy is to pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Yeah, well, kind of true. I don't know what to think about it, because the thing is, when I plan to study, I plan it the day before, so I won't get surprised, I guess. I plan and prepare my body and mind for it the day before, and when I wake up, I know I will be studying for 2, 3, in this time is 8 hours. Like, I prepare my mind, and I know that when I'm reminding myself all throughout the day that okay, I will have to do this, and among those things is studying. I know that studying will not go as roughly. I'll just ease into it because that was in the plan of the day. What is breaking a lot of this is when your plans suddenly change and suddenly I need to reprogram my mind to do something else. That's something that it wasn't preparing for hours. And that's a bit annoying, and then when I want to come back to studying, it's a bit tough. But I guess it is true, although I've never paired it with an action I wanted to do. I mean, I don't know how to pair studying with something else. Like, it's not exactly fun, so I mean, I like studying, but it's like over time it is not as fun, It is the anticipation of a reward, not the fulfillment of it, that get us to take action. I was out of focus the whole time. It is easier to avoid temptation than to resist it. I implemented this strategy generally in reprogramming my phone, let's say so, and my environment in which I study. Basically, I have gotten rid of most of distractions. I do not have Instagram app anymore on my phone. Basically, on my social media together with YouTube, I need to do it via my browser, which is not that inconvenient, but it brings a bit of inconvenience to it. So, and my phone is much clearer. I also don't have wallpaper on my phone. I kind of don't feel the need for it, and I'm fine with a black screen. But yeah, it helped me get off my phone a lot more than I thought it would. And suddenly, when I wasn't seeing Instagram app on my home screen, or I didn't have the habit in my hand to just swipe one to the right, open this folder in the right exact position, here you're gonna app, I didn't have to look at the screen to open Instagram back in the day. And using my browser brings a bit of inconvenience because I need to actually type Instagram into the browser and find the proper link. So yeah, that brings a bit of inconvenience that helps me stay off my phone and off social media a lot. So absolutely true. Okay, now for the longer ones, for the laws that James Clear invented. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious, and inverse is of course change it to make it invisible. The second law of behavior change is make it attractive, and of course the inversion will be to make it unattractive. Third law of behavior change is make it easy. And that is something really important. I think that's a lot of people who get to new habits and try to, get out from all bad habits. Just forget about it. That is supposed to be easy at the beginning. because you're not gonna have much motivation, at least not the motivation that's gonna last you long. So you kind of want to ease into it rather than force it with a full speed. You need to start slowly and build up your momentum, and when you get that momentum you can tackle on the bigger problems. So yeah, just remember, make it easy. And the fourth and the last is make it satisfying. Also really important, because without the reward at the end of what we do, why our stupid brain should do it again? No? It's like with social media, the reward is immediate. The cheap dopamine you get from, a funny meme, right? With, I guess, a book or a movie will be actually easier. Like, you watch something that you're interested in, and you get that, happy feelings when you watch it because you like it. And with studying, which is a bit hard, studying is not always fun. So at the end, it's important that you give yourself some kind of reward. So you trick your brain that, hey, actually, that's fun. So yeah, I don't know, get yourself a snack after the study, or read a book, or just do what you like. I think that it is the most rewarding. A stable environment, when everything has a place and a purpose, is an environment where habits can easily form. Now that is really tough for many students, I think, and kind of unrealistic. It's good that James Clear included this in his book, to strive for this stable environment, but it's kind of hard for a student who lives in a dorm. Usually when you live in a dorm, you don't have a room on your own, you rather live with other people. I'm lucky enough to live with my parents still, so I don't have to go to the dorm, but I know people that live in a dorm and it's really chaotic, and their dorm rooms are in horrible quality, let's say so. And I know that in an environment like that, when you go from your dorm to your uni, and uni you go to different places, to cafeteria, to library, and etc. You change your environment a lot, and it's really difficult to develop a stable environment. But when you do have a chance, and when you can do so, absolutely do so. Environment, I cannot stress it enough. It's really important for your efficiency and productivity and whatever you want to achieve, not only studying, but like in other areas. Okay, those 4 notes are from a different book. Yeah, I think that's Deep Work by Newport. I'll just go over them quickly because I didn't apply them really. Okay, so discipline 1, focus on widely important. Discipline 2, act on the lead measure. Discipline 3, keep a compelling scoreboard. Discipline 4, create a case of accountability. I didn't really introduce those to me. I guess I introduced it though, because right here you can see my productivity journal. I guess I can call it like that, although it becomes something else sometimes. Basically I keep there like the plan of my day and what I need to do. I don't do monthly reviews, I don't do yearly reviews, I'm not that try hard, but I have a bunch of goals and what I want to do in my life, and to stay on track at least roughly. Yeah, and I guess I do daily reviews for sure, like mental ones mostly, because I write those plans of my days, and at the end of the day I can see how my plan went. I can, throughout the day change my plan, and at the end of the day see and review like what I did, what I need to improve on, but that's only short-term reviewing. I tried monthly reviewing. I have it at the end of this notebook. It didn't work for me. No, that perspective was a bit too much, and I still do what I do. So I figure I don't need that much productivity. I'm definitely not that extreme as James. All respect to James, though. Okay. I guess we gotta go one by one in the snake. Oh, I was out of focus again. Nice. The best way to break a habit, bad habit, is to make it impractical. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with avoidance and making it unattractive. It's literally the same, just wording is different. The ultimate way to lock in future behavior is to automate your habits. Also true, but I don't think that's really doable when you don't have that stable environment that we talked before. Because you need that stable environment to make the habits automatic and just come, easily and naturally. So that's why the environment, the stable environment is important, but also that's why this particle step can be for some really tough. But when you do get there, when you can do that, it's absolutely worth it. For me also, I think that's in one of those notes as well. Well, like linking the habits you want to introduce with the habits you already do and have. For example, I know, reading a book, you can link it to eating the breakfast. Like, or every day you eat breakfast, you bring book to the table, and while you eat breakfast, you also read the book. And this way, it is way easier to introduce, for example, a stable habit of reading books, because you always read in the breakfast, right? Eating breakfast. So that's also a good way to introduce something. I was definitely out of focus again. Using technology to automate your habit is the most reliable and effective way to guarantee the right behavior. The best way to do this is to add a little bit of immediate pleasure to the habit that pay off in the long run, and a little bit of immediate pain to the ones that don't. The mere act of trying a behavior can spark the urge to change it. Yes, but make it visible. I made a mistake at the beginning of my journey. That I tracked those. I tracked my behavior and the behavior I wanted to change, but I didn't make the tracker visible. It was an app that was on my homepage after all, but I did not open the app just to see. But when you hang the scoreboard that was also here, or this tracker, or make it just visible, put it somewhere where you see just by passing your eyes by, then that can really help you. I mean, all those pieces of advice that I'm showing you here tonight are great pieces of advice, but they do not work by themselves. They need to work together to actually change, and it's a whole system you're building out of these pieces of devices and mechanisms that only helps you in the long run, because you won't change yourself with just one of them. That's probably not gonna happen, but with a few, when you start just with a few mechanisms, for example, a tracker, a linking habit, and making visible and invisible the habits you don't want to do and the habits you want to do, then you have a solid start, I think. Then you can start to implement other throughout the time, but simply doing one just won't do it. The first mistake is never the one that ruins you. It is the spiral of repeated mistakes that follows. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. Yeah, that's gonna be a string as well. A snake even. Let's go. Genes do not determine your destiny. They determine your areas of opportunity. There's also this one quote that James Clear brought up. I will say it right now if I'll find it. It should be here. Oh, this one. The work that hurts you less than it hurts others is the work you were made for. It stunned me when I read that it's not like, you do all those things and those things, some of them will be easy, and when they will be easy, you will notice that, oh yeah, those are the things I should do in life. No, when you're pushing yourself to the limits all the time, all of those things are hard, because you're trying your best and that means it's gonna be hard. So yeah, that really put me into perspective that there won't be easy things in my life. Rather, there will be things that are hard and things that are harder to do, and that I should choose the things that are just hard to do and not harder. Pick the right habit and progress is easy. Pick the wrong habit and life is a struggle. Basically what it says. Also, I would add, don't try to introduce too many habits all at once. I tried to do that once. I even looked back on my screenshot of my tracker manager. I think, I'll find it and I'll put it somewhere on the screen. Basically, it's done me how many things I wanted to do at once. I remember also I sent the screenshot I made it to send it to my friend, and that friend told me as well that, damn girl. And no, I ended up not introducing almost any of it, I guess out of those 7 or 8, I don't remember how many of them there are, but like it introduces 1 or 2 at best. Also, that's what I kept in mind when I was doing those monthly reviews. I had this idea to introduce 3 habits in 1 month, and if I felt that I didn't introduce them properly yet, I mean they weren't set in the stone yet, I would repeat them in the next month and do it again, and I would just mark on this calendar when I did those, and you can see that after some time I actually stopped doing it. So that's why I also ditched the monthly review thingy, because I just stopped doing it. But yeah, I noticed that when I was trying to introduce only 3 habits per month and not 8, well, that helped me way more. I introduced more habits, yeah, it worked for me way better. So yes, pick the right habits and don't try to pick too many at once. A good player works hard to win the game everyone else is playing. A great player creates a new game that favors their strengths and avoids their weaknesses. Without variety, we get bored, and boredom is perhaps the greatest villain on the quest for self-improvement. Of course it's true. Why do I... If something is not true, I'll just say it. But there are a couple ways to achieve it. I found myself improving my setup helps a lot in achieving this, and changing slightly my environment every time I study, or I get to study. This whole desk was changing together with me, and it's still changing actually. Just now, I'm changing it again. And why do it? Because the variety. You need that variety to keep it interesting somewhat. I'm making space for my new... Actually, I have already written down today my new quote I want to hang, and that actually motivated me. Hey, actually, I don't need those. They don't serve me anymore. But yeah, change. It's important and it's fun. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. It's the ability to keep going when work isn't exciting that makes the difference. So what James is talking about here, and actually not only Clear but Scolds as well, basically it's not the motivation that helps you going in the long run. Motivation, think of it like a Kickstarter. It gets you moving, but it won't make an engine running forever. An engine needs to run for itself, and that's when the momentum, what I call, but also the drive that James Scholes describes in his videos, is what keeps you going. And it is developed really over time, and sometimes hard. It is hard to develop it, but you build it through your habits and repetition, and that's why also James Clear mentions in one of those notes I already went through. It's not how much you do, it's rather how often you do it that matters. So yeah, when you focus on repetition and that habit already repeats itself and it's easy to go to it, then you can start working on expanding it. Like with studying, just start studying, 2 hours a day, and when that 2 hours a day is easy to go through, then you can start to extend this time to 3-4 hours. Try to push yourself, push the limit, but only when it repeats itself and it's easy. When you cling too tightly to one identity, you become brittle. Lose that one thing and you lose yourself. A lack of self-awareness is poison. Reflection and review is the antidote. Journal, people! Journal. No, actually, journaling is a great tool to not only get on terms with your feelings, but actually review your actions and kind of stay grounded with what you do and what you think. Highly recommend it. I've been doing that for over half a year now. Great stuff. Really. A new habit should not feel like a challenge. The actions that follows can be challenging, but the first 2 minutes should be easy. An accountability partner can create an immediate cost to inaction. We care deeply about what others think of us, and we do not want others to have lesser opinion of us. The human mind wants to win whatever game is being played. Very, very popular way to make your brain do something. You can make to-do lists for your studying, but make a progress bar. Oh, like this. See? The thing is, this to-do list doesn't have much in its list. No, actually, it has only one thing in its list, and that's only states what I do, which is studying this one subject for 8 hours. But it doesn't matter. What matters is this progress bar right next to it. I make it so one square means one session, which lasts 50 minutes. What I found to work for me is to, cross those, fill those squares while at the end of every session I finish. And you kind of feel manually this progress bar throughout your studying. And I noticed that planning also ahead how long you will study definitely helps me stay motivated. The process of behavioral change always starts with awareness. Oh, that's not from James Clear, but I'm keeping that note there for sure. It says, whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. And I think that's also very empowering. What I love about journaling is that you write about the stuff you did, or you thought, or you felt. The point is that when you write about them, you shift your focus from the things that haven't happened yet, from the future, to the present and the past. Small changes often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. You need to be patient. It's better to do less than you hope than to do nothing at all. Standardize before you optimize. You cannot improve a habit that doesn't exist. No matter how consistent you are with your habits, it is inevitable that life will interrupt you at some point. Perfection is not possible. With our bad habits, the immediate outcome usually feels good, but the ultimate outcome feels bad. With good habits, it is the reverse. The immediate outcome is unenjoyable, but the ultimate outcome feels good. I think those are all quotes. I got some more space for new quotes, and I'll share it with you. The new quote I already want to hang. Written down today: what comes easy won't last long, and what lasts long won't come easy. Oh yeah, now I see. It's funny, I'm gonna show you. You can see this is the same paper I used. It's even the same batch. There's not many left, but there were like way more, but I used them all for this, right? And you can see this is an old one. How the yellow dye just disappeared from it. It's white. This is still yellow because this is a new paper, right? Well, this is white. It's funny. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Yeah, see you next time.